Hey, it's me, AP, aka Mr. Movie Cheer, and welcome back to another video. And on this video, I will be discussing, it's a channel update, discussing the channel, the podcast, and discussing some of the plans for 2023 for the channel, for the pod, for what's going on in Movie Cheer Town, ladies and gents. But before we get to that, the plans for 2023 and the channel update, I just want to really just, first of all, do a reflection on 2022. Now, first of all, I will say 2022, it was the rebrand of the channel. So the Movie Cheer podcast was born in 2022. It was the name started then. Before then, I was just going under my own name, AP, and it was great. It was great to do that. It's something I had planned for a while. And that was great, and everyone was really positive about it, which was awesome to see. Also, I want to reflect on 2022. My goal for 2022 was to do a lot more collaborations with the channel, and I did exactly what I wanted to do last year with the podcast, with the channel, and collaborating, because, like I said, it's a community, and it's great to hear different voices. Well, first, I always say it. I love hearing people's opinions, people's comments, in the comments, in the YouTube comments, but also doing like live collaborations with people. It is great, and there's a great movie community on YouTube and on Instagram and obviously other social networks now, but especially YouTube. I think there's a really good community of people out there, and it's really nice, a really friendly community as well. And I've met some really great people over the past year in 2022 and before that in 2021 and 2020. But 2022 as well, I met a lot of new people as well through doing YouTube, and made some really great friends along the way, and it's been awesome, absolutely awesome. But really, just I enjoyed the collaborations, I enjoyed the community spirit, and discussing with people, and it's always nice to see. When you see like a new name, like a new person who is in the community, who's in the comments, and then you discuss them, and then you think, oh, maybe they won't come back, and then you see them come back, and then you start to like introduce yourself and talk about what movies you're into, and I absolutely love that. It's great, and that's what the best thing about doing this hobby of doing YouTube, discussing movies. So yeah, I'd say I had a lot of fun last year as well. That was a standout moment was doing the Movie Cheer Fest, the 2-night event anyway on YouTube, where we did like 2 podcasts. And don't get me wrong, it was planning it all was I was a bit like I didn't have to pull my hair out, thankfully, because you can see I've got none. But that was so much fun doing it, and I had absolute blast with all them guys who were on that podcast. But yeah, honestly, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone for being awesome in 2022, for being a part of this community in 2022, and honestly, a really good year. Growth for the channel, the channel grew really a lot, and I just want to say thank you for everyone who also invited me onto their channels and stuff, and YouTube channels, and also everyone just getting involved in the comments. It's great. I love the community spirit. I absolutely think it's great. So 2022, reflecting on it. I think reflection is always an important thing. I do this in life outside, away from YouTube, and I think doing it on here for YouTube as well. I think it's a good thing to reflect on. Think something. Don't get me wrong. There's some things I'd like to have done more of, but in general, I did everything I wanted to do last year, and the channel, the podcast grew, and I was really pleased with it, and just really pleased that we've got this great community here. So let's talk about the channel changes for 2023 now. So this is the juice, the meat of the video. So I'm going to get into it, and I'm going to discuss why I'm doing these changes for 2023. I'm 2023 now. I know at some point in this video I'm probably going to say 2022. So let's see. Channel changes for 2023. Let's get into it, ladies and gents. So in 2022, I was doing a video on Thursday, and the podcast was always on Saturday, unless it was delayed. and I'm sure it probably was delayed at some point. But this year, well, this time round in 2023, I will be moving to a different schedule, and I will be doing one video a week, one podcast a week, basically. It's going to be on Saturday, so the Thursday videos are going to be no more for now anyway. It'll be new content, video content, podcast content on Saturdays. So the way I'm planning it at this moment in time is there'll be your usual podcast, Movie Share podcast, every Saturday, and the last Saturday of the month will kind of be more of what the Thursday video would have been, rather than a podcast episode. So that's going to be the first little change around here. Another little change around as well, and is the other video, the last Saturday of the month video, which would have been like the normal Thursday video, will now be going onto the podcast feed, providing it makes sense. So, for instance, if I was doing like a case, looking at case covers, it might not make as much sense to do a full video on that and put it on the podcast feed. But in general, or if it's like a movie room tour on a podcast kind of wouldn't make sense. So, in general, they will go onto the podcast feed because I want to put more content onto the podcast feed because I felt like last year there was some content that could have went on there and I didn't put it on in the end. So that is going to be another change for this year. I will be taking regular little breaks throughout the year, but in general, it's going to be a smooth run. Doing less videos, it will help as well. Patreon as well. I did do a Patreon video on this, but just to tell you here as well, I'm scaling back a bit on the Patreon content. So it is the last Monday of every month now. A piece of content will go on Patreon rather than every single Monday. That is another little change to things. So why the changes? Why the changes to the YouTube channel, to the podcast? I'll say time personally. I mentioned this on a Patreon video. Personally, I've got a few little things I want to do. For instance, like it was in 2021, I put out a short film, The Monster Hideaway, and I really enjoyed that process of making a short film. And I wasn't doing as much Patreon stuff then, and I felt like I needed to scale back a bit. And also with the YouTube stuff, I felt like let's this year try and focus on just doing one video a week, one piece of long form content. And that was another thing. I've really enjoyed more now doing the longer videos, the podcasts, and really doing a big, long, deep dive into subjects and topics. So that is another thing, instead of doing like a short 20-minute video instead. I enjoy that process of, going in deep into a topic more so. But yeah, time, I want to do, realistically, I'd love to do a short film this year. That is something I'd like to work on. It may not happen this year. It may take longer for what I want to do. Could be 2024, but I'm already in the process of kind of like putting stories together for doing a short film project. And again, that's time. If I'm doing more videos and stuff on YouTube, I don't have the time personally to work on that. But yeah, I kind of really thought about this like the last 6 months of last year, to be honest, and really in the last 3 months, really deep into it. That I felt like I just needed to have a little shake up and a bit of change in everything I do. And doing the YouTube, doing the podcast, I have so much fun and I wouldn't ever want to stop doing it. But I felt like I needed to kind of just change things up a bit to focus on some of the other things I wanted to do as well. Because I always think if you've got that thing in your head, like a short film, or you want to do another creative endeavor, I think it's so important to follow your own compass and, follow your direction of what you want to do. And for me, I love doing this podcast and I wouldn't, swap this out. But you know what, 5 years time, I might say, this is not for me anymore. So I always think you should always, do that. Again, this goes down to like self-reflection, say, is this working? Is this not working? And for me, I felt like I needed to scale back a bit. And, I've got more time now to watch more movies, to do more topics and, put more detail into the videos, into the content. I feel like this benefits the channel more so personally. I feel like I'm going to be more energized for doing more content and for doing the podcasts and stuff like that. And also it's going to free up that time to work on stuff like doing a short film or whatever other creative endeavors crop up over the next year or so. So they're the main reasons for the changes. I hope you understand why I'm making the changes. And yeah, so that's it. Changes for 2023. Let me know your thoughts on it. But let's talk about now channel goals, the podcast goals for 2023. I think it's great to set goals, and this year I want to crush some goals. And on the YouTube channel side of things, I would like to be an ace if we can get the community to the channel, the podcast, up to 1K subs, 1,000 subscribers. I think it's around the 700 mark at the moment, so like another 300 or so subscribers to the YouTube channel. I'd love to do it this year. I think we can do it. I really do think we can do it. I think we can get it up to 1,000 subscribers. I think it would be amazing if we can. That's the goal anyway for the year for the goals. And you know, like I said, collaborating. You know, last year, like I said, I wanted to do more collaborations than the year previous. This year, same again. I'm gonna work out how many collaborations and stuff I did this year, and the channel had obviously collaborators on. I want to crush it this year. I want to have more people on. I want to do more Movie Cheer Town episodes. The one I did with Ben last year was awesome on Laserdiscs. That is, you know, really good fun video. You know, doing the pay-per-views as well was great, but I want to do more of them this year. Get more of you on the pod, discussing movies, discussing physical media, movie rooms. That is another goal. And just in general, just to keep on growing the community on whatever platform it may be. Just keep on growing it. And just having fun with doing this and fun doing this process, and it's great. Just it's a little journey, isn't it? We're all on this little journey, and it's just nice just growing it and discussing with more people, meeting new people. I think it's awesome. But anyway, that is it. If you enjoyed this video today, please do give it a like and check out the rest of the movie related content on the channel, and let me know your thoughts on all of today's updates and plans for 2023, and also let me know some of your movie plans, your movie related plans, or maybe your creative plans. Are you thinking about starting a YouTube channel in 2023, or doing an Instagram page, or what are your plans for 2023? What are some of your movie related plans? Maybe you want to start a new collection of movies. You want to go maybe to 4K, or start a new Blu-ray collection, a new DVD collection. Let me know all your thoughts. Thank you very much for watching, ladies and gents. Remember to spread a bit of movie cheer, and as always, I will see you next time.